Hey, this is David Wynn with the Mortgage Edge podcast, brought to you by Click and Close Mortgage. Today, I have a very special guest from Humboldt, Texas, or around the Houston area, James Polomsky. James, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, we know you're a realtor, but that's all we know, that you're one of the top realtors in the area. How long have you been a realtor?
I have been a realtor for 24 years.
24 years. Holy cow. Well, I know that you had a profession that was very helpful before this, because I know you're not that old. What did you do before you became a realtor?
I actually had a couple of professions. The first one was a college administrator. I was a college administrator at Penn State for a couple of years, and then at the University of Houston for a couple of years. And then I transitioned into teaching from that because I did enjoy time with the students. And my passion there was English. So I was an English teacher for 14 years at the middle school level.
Teachers make the best realtors because you're teaching. So you did that for how long? 14 years?
14 years. In my 12th year, I got Teacher of the Year. So I had the accolades, and I really still would enjoy being a teacher. But part of what drove me away from the field is that you just couldn't make enough money to support the family the way I wanted to. So I didn't just jump into real estate. Initially, I got my license, and it was going to be something I did on the side. And my first clients were my fellow teachers. So people at the school, I would just sit in the where would I sit? I'd sit in the teacher lounge, and I would eat my lunch there, and people would say, what you doing this weekend? And I'd say, oh, I'm showing property. Oh, I didn't know you were a real estate agent. So I didn't run around telling everybody I was an agent, but people found out and trusted my service at that point.
So how long did you do those dual roles?
For all of it. I think I got my license really my first year of teaching. So for most of it, I was a teacher full time and a real estate agent on the side. And where it really started to transition over was the last 3 years of my teaching, when I did start doing some marketing into the world as an agent. And then that's when I started getting enough business that justified me leaving my job. Yeah.
Well, that justification is probably you made more in real estate than you did your teaching, right?
Yeah, I didn't. For those that are thinking about doing that, I don't advise it until you can not just make your teaching salary, but or make your salary, but make twice your salary. When you're making double your salary, it's time to transition over.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, realtor for 24 years in Humboldt, Texas. Y'all just got a lot of ice and snow. Is it cleared out now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It stuck around for a couple of days, but that was a really, really, really nice snow. I lived in Minnesota for a couple of years and up in Pennsylvania for a couple of years. So I've experienced some lengthy, long snows, some blizzards, some the whole 9 yards, even down to 52 below zero. But something about the cold in Houston is just more cold than the cold in Minnesota.
Right, for sure. Well, Houston's just not used to getting snow and ice. They don't have snowplows, so it's just like, people are in lockdown whenever something like that happens. I was
happy to stay locked down in my house and just converse with my friends, and that's part of a lot of what I do in my business. I know at some point we'll talk a little bit of real estate, but most of my world is working with my friends.
Yeah.
So, and what's interesting is I don't have like 1,000 friends. I have a couple hundred, but I pick and choose who I want to be friends with because, if you pick nice friends, you have nice clients, nice referrals.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because that's kind of your secret sauce, in real estate. You're kind of a unique guy. Like you said, I'm not trying to get 1,000 people in your sphere. I know for a fact all your clients are what you consider your friends. They're part of your inner circle. And because of what you do, I think you get a lot of referrals, repeat customers and stuff like that. So let's talk about how you approach the real estate business, which is very unique.
Yeah, the first thing I do is when you're a real estate agent, when I first jumped out, I was doing for sale by owner phone calls. I was doing the cold mailings into neighborhoods and doing them month after month and doing the postcards. I would get clients off of that, but the quality of the clients always seemed low. And what I mean by that is that people would not call me back. That's not good. That's not a good client. Or people would use your service and then throw you out the window. So I wanted to have more of an intimate relationship. So like when you sell to your brother, your brother's going to pick up the phone when you call it. And if he doesn't, you'll drive over to his house and knock on his door. So with with me, I do a couple things. I ask myself, what do I want to do in the community? One of the things I enjoy doing is working with charities and raising money. So I'm part of the Rotary Club in my area, the Lake Houston Rotary Club. And I also enjoy playing chess. So I have started the Lake Houston Chess Club, and that meets on both Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. And I started that 8 years ago, and it meets every single week. So we went at the very beginning having almost no one show up to the chess club outside of myself and a buddy of mine, to now we have between 30, 35 people that are showing up every single week, parents and kids and of course, adult players. So I also am in a public speaking group called Toastmasters, and that is a group that meets weekly to work on your public speaking. Now, again, how do all these things have anything to do with real estate? Well, at each one of these, I'm seeing my friends in these groups at least once a week. I show up every single week. I give it my best. Especially in the groups where you're on stage, like with Toastmasters, you have to prepare. And people see what you're made of and what you're able to do and how professionally you hold yourself. And then you take not everybody in your Toastmaster group. If there's 25 people in there, you're not going to be friends with everybody.
Right.
But there's probably 5 or 6 that you really gel with and connect with. Take one of them to lunch. And that's where the real secret to what I do comes in, is that I do that with this group, and I do it with Rotary, and I do it with chess, and I do it over a long period of time. So with chess, there's several hundred people that I know just with chess, but there's about 30 of them that I would consider close friends that I've taken to lunch, that if they called me up and needed help, I would be there for. And so
So
that's that. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So one of the things in our business and one of the things in sales is this. It's called just ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. With the way you do business, do you ask, hey, can I be a realtor, or is it something that they automatically just do? Because you kind of are built more on relationship. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, I do ask. One of the ways that I ask is very subtly, and I'm right, like right here. Okay, I've got my shirt on all the time. This year in Toastmasters, I'm the president, so every week I show up so they know what I do. Um, sorry, what was the question again? Sorry,
I
blew out of my
said,
brain.
just with the way you do the relationships, do you actually ask, hey, do you have anybody that do you need help with real estate transaction, or do you have anybody that you know? Um,
Yeah, I think I pick and choose my times because I don't want to uh, taint the relationship. Because if you're talking to someone and then they get the feel that you're only in that relationship for the lead, for the referral, um, I want to be careful not to do that. But what I do is I'll have befriended that person. I'll have taken that person to lunch or to golf, maybe even a sporting event. And then I'll call them up on a Saturday afternoon and I'll say, hey, my wife just made some chocolate chip cookies. You mind if I come over? And no one ever says no. So I run over with chocolate chip cookies and invite it into the house. And as we're chatting, here's the phrase. I say, will you do me a favor? And what I typically get is people say anything, name it. And I go, will you keep your eyes peeled for people looking to buy and sell? I think it's a lot softer way of asking than saying, do you know anybody who's looking to buy or sell right now? I mean, if you have that right now piece, or if you put them on the spot for a name, it feels different than if they're eating some chocolate chip cookies and they know your wife who made them. So I mean, I go so deep with the relationships that I have, and so like I'll sell 70 to 100 homes a year, and I'll remain close friends with maybe 15 to 20 of those people. Now, other ones were referred to me by friends. So when you refer me, like if you're a close friend of mine of 15 years and you refer me your aunt, okay, I'll sell that house but I may not continue a long friendship with your aunt. You know, it just depends on how the transaction goes throughout. And so what I refer my business to, or what it looks like, is a bush that's been trimmed, and there's parts, that are growing off that may not that start to turn brown. You just clip those pieces off. And so I don't mail to everybody I've ever sold a house to. I know it drives my loan officers crazy, but I think there's value in accumulating amazing friends and amazing friendships that
Well,
gel with you, and you're not just friends with them because you want the lead, but you're
well,
truly friends with them.
that's pretty amazing because that's the fact that you sell 70 or 80 homes in a year, and I know that you don't buy leads, right? You don't buy Zillow
No.
leads I mean that's all organic, which is amazing. A testament to you're obviously doing something right. All referrals and all sphere, and all through your business. That's amazing.
Yes. And I've tried to do other things, but I'm telling you, like, even when I delve into these other places, the referrals I get are people that they just don't care about you. they'll just they'll they'll shop, or not that shopping is bad or anything, but it's just a different feel than when your best friend's mom refers you to her sister. Like I get a lot of that, a lot of it. And there's uh the amount of value you bring to that person, I think, establishes how much of the friendship or how much of a friend they are to you. And I'll give you what I call friends, fans, and fanatics.
Okay.
So with friends, a lot of the people I have are good friends, and they might refer me a deal. They might not. Now, a fan is someone who will refer you. That's like grandma. She's definitely going to refer you the deal no matter what. And then a fanatic is someone who asks me for my business cards because they want to hand them to their friends. So there's different levels of even friendships that I have from a business standpoint that I can tell. Like, and so you ask if I ask, I do in the beginning, and then from there it either transgresses or it doesn't. Meaning, either I'll get referrals from them, or after 3 years or so, I may not take them to play golf. you know, I mean, I kind of maneuver around to the people that appreciate the friendship that I offer.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So it's a little bit of different prospect, like as a lender, I'm in a coaching program, and one of the things that our coaches teach us is always ask. Always like my goodbyes are always, hey, do you have anybody looking to buy, sell, or refinance? If you do, can you please send them our way, or can you think about me? It's just a different way. But I love your way. So organic, so natural, and I think it works. I don't think it works for everybody, but it
No,
it
no, it
definitely
doesn't.
works for you. I mean,
It
it's
doesn't. And it works for people that have authentic, that literally, like if you're in a group in Toastmasters, I've been in that group for 3.5 years. I've been the membership director. I've been the social media director. I'm the president. I'm going to be an area director this next year. It's like a growing relationship, but the friendships I have in there, it doesn't immediately lead to leads.
right.
So that's the thing too. Like you can't go to a Toastmaster meeting and expect, even 3 or even 10 and expect people are going to just start using you. I have gone to, at this point, 150 meetings across 3 years, and I have closed 5 deals, but I have incredibly deep friendships with those people that have referred those deals to me. So it's not just that I've gotten the deals, it's that it's going to continue to be more and more deals that come from that. I
Well,
also
and go ahead. You also what?
I also promote, like when I go to a Toastmaster meeting, I promote that on my Facebook page. When I'm at a Rotary meeting, I promote that on my Facebook page. I'm always inviting my friends and the community to come to those meetings. Same thing with the chess club. So every week they see me post at least 4 times in meetings that I'm in, which gives the impression as well that I'm like actively involved in the community. So it's almost 200 posts a year of me attending meetings that I'm inviting people into. So I know I have a lot of fans that appreciate that as well. So it's not just the people that you're seeing, but it's the people that are watching you and maybe not even liking the post. Like I tell people all the time, if you're seeing my post and you like it, like it.
How much? So your people, do you get anything from Facebook and social media, or how do you feel about those platforms?
I love the platform as something that shares with the community what I'm doing, because as membership director of the Rotary Club, I have people that call me all the time from my post asking to find out more information about the Rotary Club. So I think without that platform, we wouldn't be able to reach as many people as we do. And Rotary Club, why am I part of the Rotary Club? In Toastmasters, same thing. These groups have people in them that are highly motivated, working towards something, passionate. Those are the kind of people that I want to be friends with.
Yeah.
So, like people that meet like my Toastmaster group meets at 7 o'clock in the morning every single Friday.
Wow.
And we put on a live performance and it's broadcast. So any Friday morning at 7 o'clock, if you wanted to tune in, you could see me start the meeting as president and see the meeting running. And we have speakers and we have evaluators. I mean, it's an action-packed thing. But through the course of all that, you really get to know people. And again, like even in Toastmasters, I say I'm probably friends with like there's 22 of us in there. I'm friends with like 16. There's several I don't want to be friends with. We're just different kind of characters. And there's 5 of them that have referred me deals. I have a $600,000 listing that's coming off of one of those. So, I mean, it's neat to be able to work with people and that's where listings come from too. It comes from people that trust you. Now, if you get into these groups and you underperform, no one's going to want to use you. So again, you have to choose something that you're going to attend every week, be passionate about. I mean, if you joined Rotary Club and you only go once a month, and when you're there, you're not paying attention, why are you there? Like, I'm not only in person, I'm talking with everybody, I'm inviting everybody, saying hi, new people we're, giving a lot more attention to. I'm like, oh, have you met the superintendent over here? And then when the meeting starts, I'm one of the 2 people that are standing up with microphones to welcome guests. So it's a new guest, I run the microphone over and you know, that's one of my duties. How did I get that duty? I don't know. And then I take pictures and then I post them. So I want the community to know not this just what we're doing, but I want them to be a part of it as well.
Well, it sounds like you all these extra. I wouldn't say extracurricular activity. It's part of you, James. It's part of what makes you successful. I mean, you're busy. I mean, is there a day that you take off completely, or is your life just 7 days a week? Go.
Well, here's what's interesting. Like we have a camper, and we take that camper on like month-long vacations. But we take it on a month-long vacation to Galveston. I live in Houston. So if there's so I can still come back for my meetings. So we do take time off for sure. I mean, if any on any given day, like today, I was at Toastmasters this morning. I gave a speech, drove home, Actually, I drove one of my buddies home because he needs a lift. And then I have this, and then I'm free the rest of the day. Like Monday, taking a family to the zoo. That's one of my promotions too. So I like to offer value to people that are my friends. So I have a membership at the country club, and I will call and say, hey, let's go play golf. And I also have a membership at the zoo that allows me to get up to 7 people into the zoo. So I'm able to call all 200 people in my sphere. And I say sphere, but it's really lots of spheres. So you have a sphere of chess people, a sphere of past teacher friends, a sphere of Rotary people. So I'm able to call my people in these spheres and invite their families to the zoo for free. And then when I meet them up there, depending on who it is, I might have some kind of maybe bookmarks for the kids or carousel rides that I hand people, or cookies that my wife has made. I'll hand them right before they go in. And then I release them into the zoo. A couple of them are like, Jim, aren't you going to walk with us? And I'm like, no, enjoy your family. I've been to the zoo like 87 times. So it's a promotion that I'm able to do, get people into the zoo. And look, of the 200 people I call, maybe 30 will take me up on the offer, but the other 170 appreciate the call.
How often do you call their 200 people?
Say again?
How often do you call the 200 people?
Oh, gosh. Well, a lot of these people I'm seeing through just daily interactions with Rotary Club and Toastmasters and Chess Club. So,
Gotcha.
but at least quarterly, I'm touching people. And I also am mailing into them at least, I say monthly, but sometimes it's twice a month and sometimes it's every 6 weeks or so. I try not to make it look like, oh, here's a monthly mailing every single month, because the mailings that I have come in are recipe cards from my wife on a postcard where I've written something on the other side. And usually it's, hey, let's go to lunch sometime soon. Again, you got to be careful how many of these you do, and you got to keep track of who you offer it to, because
Exactly.
otherwise it does cost a lot of money to take that many people to lunch. So I have a dividing way of, like, my top sphere are my A's and my B's, and then I've got C's and D's, and D stands for delete. And that's something that I think is important to have as well, is that, like, again, for me, the quality matters.
Yeah.
And if, there's something that has gone awry in the relationship, it's best for me not to mail them recipe cards and invite them to the zoo.
So, James, we've talked a lot about, how you attract customers and stuff like that. What's your why? Why do you do what you do? Because it can't be about that for you. I can tell you right now, it's not about the money. I know that. So what?
Yeah. For me, and this has been one of the challenges for me, because I'm able to support myself, and not just support myself, but thrive to the tune of, 5 times what I used to make as a teacher, doing what I want to do, having fun. I mean, a third of my week is playing chess, and I've actually gotten to not just meet, but play grandmasters. Anyways, I digress on that, but I wish that I was more able to show people that this path not only exists, but that if you delve fully into it, it's incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
Like the real estate, when I get the listing, when I get the deal, that is the fruit of my labor. My labor is going to lunch. My labor is going to the meetings, serving the community, going to the luncheons. And people are like, what do you mean it's the labor? That's my work. Because when I do get a listing, I meet with the people for a couple hours, and the rest of it usually by phone. So there's not a whole lot of time that actually takes. Again, I'm working with 38 clients at the moment, and a lot of them are dormant. They're kind of like just waiting. A third of them are in houses right now that are just, the market isn't ready to sell. So you have to have a certain level of patience with that too. But anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting on another transition.
No, you're good. Well, James, we can sit here and talk to you all day, but we definitely want to bring you back. Before we let you go, what should we have talked about that we didn't talk about?
I think that one of the things that's important is that you have a system that you believe in and that you trust. And one of the first things that I do with people that either want to be an agent or is that I ask them to, do you believe that this mindset could work? That you could actually be 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 a professional friend and have that be something that works for you. So just trusting in what you do and having the right mindset. I think Henry Ford, it's an old quote, but whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And I think that's really the biggest thing. And in real estate world, I tell people, look, I'm going to do what's right by you, no matter what. So I'm walking through the house. I'm not looking to see if this is the perfect house. I'm looking up and I'm showing, hey, did you see that crack up there? Hey, did you see the imperfections in the tile over here? I mean, I'm pointing stuff out so that you know what you're getting. It takes me longer with my buyers to find the house, but they know that there's nothing nothing that's going to surprise them with it. So anyways, I'm one of those that could talk forever too.
No, your attention to detail. I love it. I love it. Well, James, if the people want to find you in Humboldt, Texas, and I know they do, and they want to be part of your friend circle, how do they find you?
They can find me easily with my phone number at 713-459-0220. And if you put in my name, Jim Polomsky, or the Polomsky team on Facebook, we're the only ones.
And if you're watching this live, folks, you saw that go across the lower thirds. Well, Jim, if I'm looking for real estate in the Houston area, whether it's buy, sell, or whatever your needs are, just reach out to Jim. He's a great guy, and you get to be part of his inner circle and maybe get some of those chocolate chip cookies from his wife. So with that being said, I'm David Wynn. I'm with the Mortgage Edge podcast. Thanks for being with us today. Have a good day.